Neil Warnock appointed as Aberdeen boss till the end of the season. The Dons are his 17th different club in British football, with his first game in charge coming at Ibrox against Rangers tonight. He spoke for the first time yesterday and dropped a couple of names along the way.
Game like tomorrow night is too good, really. And I've always had good fun with, when I worked on talkSPORT with Alan Brazil, and Ali McCoy's is very nice. I'm a good fan of Ali. So we have always taken the side of that, because of Alan Brazil, really, with his Celtic connections in there.
One man who knows exactly what Aberdeen can expect is the former Sheffield United skipper Phil Jagielka, who played under Warnock over 280 times. Morning, Phil.
Morning, Jeff. How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Have you recovered yet from those 280 games?
Well, thankfully, they were quite a while ago, so the headache's just about past.
So, look, what's he like in the dressing room then, Neil? What does he do to get that bit extra out of players?
I don't think there's one thing he does. He just figures out the changing room pretty quickly and makes the changing room over a longer period. He's obviously only going to be at Aberdeen for 4 months, but when he stayed at the club a little bit longer, he gets the changing room how he wants it. He gets the characters in. I think he would choose characters over ability. I think the people that he's had, especially in my time, potentially, I won't say we're in the last chance saloon. They were young lads or lads that have potentially not been given the opportunities they would like, and for whatever reason, he knows exactly which buttons to press, and he's pressed them all the time. He says promotions he's had speaks for himself, and they say, funnily enough, I saw him in Portugal at the beginning of the year. And I asked him when he was coming out of retirement, a bit tongue-in-cheek, and he just smiled and laughed at me. So maybe he knew something there that I didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's had a bit of time on the beach because I spoke to him when he was in Mauritius. You ever seen him get angry? Sorry, let's rephrase that. What's the angriest you've seen him?
I don't know. If you look at the videos, there's quite a few times he's been angry. I don't know. There's been all sorts of opportunities. I think he was so passionate about games. He's punched boards. He's told us off. Got naked. Got into the shower. Then realised he'd not said something he should have said. Come back out. Give us more of a telling off. I'd probably use a different word if we were obviously on the breakfast show.
Yeah. You're painting quite a picture here, Neil Warnock coming out of the shower and.
Yeah, but it was like obviously everyone's sort of like. Then you imagine you get told off, your head's down, and next thing you know, we're getting told off. Take two. Days have been cancelled, but. At the same extent, he was fair. You did what you needed to do for me. He looked after you. You didn't. You either didn't play or you were out of there. And I think obviously with what he's done now, he's gone up to Aberdeen. It's only a 4-month deal. I think that's perfect for him. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of little stories that the Aberdeen players will have on him by the end of the season.
Does it surprise you in a way, Phil, that he is, I'm assuming anyway, an old school boss who is still succeeding in the modern era?
It did. Obviously, I've played many games and many years underneath him. And then you heard he was obviously taking over the Huddersfield job. And I wasn't too sure. I was playing in the Championship at the time myself. And you're thinking, it's a difficult league. I wonder how and if his magic will still work. And, it was probably, no, I wouldn't say I doubted it. I was just questioning it more than I had. And lo and behold, he got that magic wand out. He gets the people around him. I think staff-wise is important to the gaffer. He needs a trust around him, and he turned it around. So never will I then ask those questions again. I'm sure Aberdeen will have an uptake in form and in points. And I say he's not managed up in Scotland. I think that's a little box that he can tick off. And I'm sure they'll enjoy his antics both on and off the pitch.
Well, it's certainly going to spice up the dugout at Ibrox this evening, isn't it? And I'm not sure that the Rangers manager, Philippe Clement, will ever quite come across a Neil Warnock in his past. But look, let's talk about Everton as well. They think they're due to start their appeal tomorrow against that 10-point penalty, aren't they? Have you got any sense of a feeling around the club about what might happen?
Not so much about what might happen. Obviously, there's a hope that we can potentially get some points back, or obviously there's supposed to be another points deduction pending as well. So it's some level of what is fair. I think that's a difficult point at the moment. It's never been done. It seems like, well, I don't believe Everton can be the only team in the Premier League that's ever had issues with with finances and stuff like that, and for it to have only happened to them and stuff like that. So there's an element of obviously injustice that all Evertonians are feeling. So for us as a whole, we're hoping, whether it's we can get some points back, but then again, there might be some more points coming, or if we don't get any points back, potentially we can take away the next set. Because let's be honest, if anyone gets given more than 10 points in that division, it is pretty much asking for you to be relegated. It's such a competitive division. Everton have been trying to. Obviously, they must have made mistakes. There must be issues. I'm not saying everything's fabricated, but they have been on wage reductions and sort of their hands tied behind the back over the course of the last couple of years, and still managed to stay in the division. And for me, it wouldn't seem quite fair that they've had to do that, and now they're sort of giving no chance. If they'd been spending willy-nilly and not been selling players, prize assets, and stuff like that, and sort of taking the mick out of the Premier League, I could understand why they wanted to come down so harsh. But they've had to sell some of their best players, some of their younger talent, just to get money in to try and balance the book. So we just hope that things don't get worse. I think if you accept where you are now, we've still got a fighting chance. But if things do get worse, you do fear for their Premier League survival.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder whether the authorities now feel maybe they've gone over the top and regret it because they've straitjacketed themselves when it comes to other offenders who are going to have to be punished in exactly the same way or even more harshly. But look, on the pitch, Phil, plenty of spirit against Spurs, wasn't there? You certainly can't question that.
Well, that's been the proudest thing, I think, for every single Evertonian I've spoke to are proud of their team now. It is a team that they look at and they want to go and support and they get behind. I think, last year was really tough, but I think over the course of the last 5 or 6 seasons, they're not sure exactly what characters and what people are going to go out there. But now you can see it's a proper Everton team. Sean Dyche has done fantastic well to deal with, obviously, the off-field stuff, still get a very good playing staff together and got them moving in the right direction. I think without the, obviously, deduction, they'd be, I'd say, on par to where Everton fans would probably accept at the moment. We don't want to be in the bottom half of the league, but we've also got to accept that we have had to get rid of players we wouldn't have wanted to get rid of. But with the 10 points deduction, how tight it is, it's obviously dropped us a few places and gave teams in and around that relegation zone probably a little bit more hope of staying up. Purely for the fact is, Everton without the points deduction wouldn't be down there. But it's just strange. It's like you say. There's rumours there's going to be more. There's rumours other teams are going to get investigated. The league itself, you don't even know how accurate it's going to be, probably come a month's time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with points deductions, isn't it? Nobody knows where they're at. I mean, are you confident? You hopeful? Obviously, you're hopeful. Are you confident they'll beat the drop?
I am as it stands at the moment, but as I've just said, anything can change. The appeals are going in, the double jeopardy. There's so much going on that the confidence levels aren't as high as I'd like them to be. But I think once it's settled where they're at and, there's nothing you can move on from, hopefully, Everton stay up. They've got a fantastic new stadium to look forward to. And it's sort of almost like a clean slate. I don't think there'll be any more fines or any more points deductions in the future. Because I think, as I said before, they've been working with the Premier League to try and make sure, they were as close as they possibly could be to the FFP and stuff like that. So I don't see anything in the future. It's just getting through this next month, this next 3 or 4 months, and hopefully still being a Premier League team and moving forward.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.